y'all. I hope you've had a great weekend. I have. I went to a ladies' retreat on Friday and Saturday, and it was wonderful at my church, and it was just great. So today I'm back to cooking. I'm about to make some dinner for me and Bob, and I'm going to make a different squash casserole from what I've made before. So I just wanted to show you how I'm doing that. I've got, this is about a pound of squash that this is just the yellow squash that we had put up in the freezer, but you should be able to buy it at your grocery store. Just chopped it up, boiled it until it was tender, and then drained it. So it's drained, it's nice and hot. So I'm going to put a half a stick of butter in there with it now while it's hot, so this will go ahead and melt. I'm going to actually cut it up just a tiny bit so it can be melting in there. And then I'm also going to add some salt and pepper. Get that butter off the fingers. Okay, I'm going to add some, like a half a teaspoon of salt. And about a fourth of a teaspoon of pepper. Okay. And then I'll just stir that up really good. Let that butter melt. All right, while that's melting, I've cracked an egg here, and I'm going to mix it in with I had, it's about 2/3 of a cup of sour cream and mayonnaise mixed together, so about 1/3 of a cup of each. And now I'm just going to stir an egg right in there with that, because I don't want to put this egg in the hot, over here in the hot by itself, because it might try to cook. We don't want the egg to cook in here. So just kind of got that stirred up together, enough to make it so that that egg's not going to cook when it goes in here. All right. So we'll just stir that all in together really good. And I'm actually, I think at this point I'm going to use my potato masher just to make sure that that squash is not in big chunks. So I'm just gonna mash it down in here a little bit. I don't care if I have some small chunks of squash, I just don't want any big, huge pieces of it. So I think that did the trick, because it was pretty tender. All right, and now the recipe calls for a half a cup of chopped onion, a half a cup of chopped bell pepper, which I've got both of those here already chopped up, and I'm just going to scrape them right in here. Like that. Get those stirred in. And now we're going to add a little color, because we're putting in a little 4-ounce jar of diced pimento. Adds color and another little unique flavor to the squash casserole. So this is what I would call a fancy squash casserole. My other one that I've already put out online, it's just your standard squash casserole. It's not anything fancy. Now, a half a cup of pecans goes in here. So those are just chopped pecans. And then a half a cup of cheddar cheese, and I've got some sharp cheddar cheese here. I haven't opened yet. stir that all in together. And then I'm just going to put this in a baking dish and let it, and then we'll top it with some Ritz crackers and bake it for about 30 minutes or so. I'll get back with you as soon as I get it over in the little baking dishes. Okay, I'm back. I crushed up some Ritz crackers in a baggie and I've sprinkled them on top of the casserole. I put it in 2 different pans because this is what Bob and I will eat tonight. And then for my grandson-in-law, for his birthday last year, he turned 30, and so I gave him as a gift 30 of my dishes but that he can have from his 30th birthday until his 31st birthday. So I think this is probably like number 10 or 12 that I'll be delivering to him tomorrow. But anyhow, because I put it in a throwaway pan, I have to stabilize it good by putting it in a little baking pan. That way you don't worry about when you take it out of the oven it being flimsy and spilling on you or anything. So just want to let you know that, and I'll talk to y'all later. I'll show you when I take it out of the oven. All right, y'all, I'm back. While the squash casseroles are in the oven, I've gone ahead and got some rice cooking in this little pot back here. It's almost done. I'm about to put together the meat mixture for Salisbury steak. So I'm going to take my rings off. My hands are nice and clean. And I'm going to crack an egg. And put that right here in my meat mixture. This is nothing but about a little bit more than a pound of ground beef. So I've got that in there. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, about not quite a half a teaspoon. And I'm going to add 1/4 cup of bisquick, which is basically just biscuit and pancake mix. And now I'm just going to mix this all together with my hand. That pancake mix just holds the meat all together along with the egg. And it already has salt in it, so I don't think we need to add any salt. Plus this is going to have a nice gravy that'll have seasonings in it. So anyhow, so that mixed up pretty quick. I think I've got all that done. Now I'm going to divide this into about 6 patties if I can. I've got my pan heating over here next to me. It's a big 12-inch skillet that's heating up, and I'm going to put the patties right in there. Let me get, as soon as I get them ready. And so now I'm just going to take another about 1/4 cup of bisquick and put it here on my chopping board. I think you can see that, hopefully. There, now you should be able to. And I'm going to make this up into the patties. You don't want to make too big a patty because then it might be hard to turn over. So just what will fit in your palm pretty good. So got that, and I'm just going to dip it in the bisquick so that it has some on each side. And then put it right over here in the pan. I think the pan's about ready. So I'm going to keep making these and get them all in the pan, and then wash my hands, and then I'll get back with you. In fact, let me find a clean finger here where I can turn this off. Hold on. Okay, y'all, I've got that done. My hands are clean. You can see these are, it made 6 nice sized patties over here. Now the secret next is to go ahead while they're cooking and just cover the whole pan with sliced up onions. It just smells so wonderful. Have that cooking in here with the meat. And this is a whole onion that I just sliced in half and then started slicing it into little individual slices, so it's like that. And now I'm just separating them out so that we have little onion slices all over in here. And I'll just let this cook until it's time to flip the burgers over. The onions will be browning the whole time. Just this fire. The onions will be browning while the meat is cooking. And then we'll add the next ingredients. I'll be back with you. Okay, I've taken up 4 of the hamburgers and I'm letting the other 2 continue to cook for a little bit. Now I've chopped up about 10 mushrooms. I'm just going to put these in here with the onions and let those start to cook. Gives me a little more stirring room. I'll wind up putting those back in here once we have the gravy, but right now I just wanted to be able to stir a little bit. And I think I am going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on top of that. And maybe a little bit more pepper. Okay. So the next thing we're going to add, and I'll pick these 2 burgers up out of the way as soon as these get ready here. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so you can see these mushrooms. Doesn't take mushrooms long to get cooked. They sort of wilt down. Now I'm going to stir in a can of cream of mushroom soup. And a package of brown gravy, which I'm going to mix with a cup of water. Let me grab that cup of water. And I'll just whisk that together real quick. We don't have any lumps. This is just brown gravy mix. If you have got brown gravy mix that's already mixed, you don't have to do this step. This is making a beautiful looking gravy, and we'll put the Salisbury steaks back over in here. I think I'm going to thin it out just a little bit more water. Because I know it's going to thicken up as it heats. There's our nice thick gravy, which looks delicious. Smells wonderful. And now I'll just slide these burgers right back in here. And just let them take a bath in that gravy. We'll flip them over so they're gravied on both sides. And this gravy will be great over the rice that I've got cooked. I'm just going to let this simmer on low until we're ready to eat. I think that's it for tonight, y'all. We've got this beautiful squash casserole. Let me get it out. It's ready. Let me get it out and show it to you. I was just keeping it warm in the oven. Hold on one second. Just look at that. It's all brown and beautiful. Set it up here so it can cool too. So we are ready to eat. I wish y'all could be here to eat with us. Sorry you can't be, but y'all try these recipes at home. It's quick and easy, and I think you'll love it. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.